My boyfriend live-streamed our breakup on TikTok. He built a whole online persona around being a relationship expert and used our private arguments as content. The final straw? He went live on TikTok, announced he was leaving me for someone more aligned with his vibe, while I sat right there, stunned. But I wasn't about to let him control the narrative this time. So I told my side. Now his brand is gone. I still can't believe I'm actually writing this. I've rewritten this part like 5 times because every version sounds fake, but it's not. It's just my life now. And yeah, I know how wild it sounds to say my boyfriend dumped me live on TikTok, but if you knew him, really knew him, it honestly tracks. His name is Kalen, or, as he prefers to be called online, Kel the coach. Yep, that's what he calls himself. Life coach, relationship guru, motivational speaker. He has a ring light in every room and talks to his followers more than he talks to me. I met Kellen at a brunch spot 2 years ago. He slid into my DMs later that day with a voice note that said, "You have main character energy." And I fell for it. Hard. I'll admit, in the beginning, it was intoxicating. He was magnetic, confident, always thinking big. He made vision boards and meditated every morning, and told me I was blocking my own abundance whenever I was stressed. A little cringe, yeah, but I liked that he believed in something. Believed in me, even. We moved in together 8 months ago. I gave up my solo apartment in West Hollywood for his live work loft. It was supposed to be this creative, empowering space. I pictured us waking up early, sipping matcha on the balcony, building our dreams together. Instead, it became his content studio, and I became his unpaid assistant. I started editing his videos, managing his calendar, helping him shoot fake candid reels. He'd do these little couples clips too, dating a high-value woman, a thread, or morning routine with my queen. People loved them, comments full of goals and manifesting this energy. But the reality? He barely looked at me when the camera was off. Still, I convinced myself we were solid. Every couple has rough patches, right? I mean, he called me his soulmate in front of his 400K followers. But then came the live stream. It was a Thursday night. I'd made shrimp tacos and poured us wine. He said he wanted to go live real quick and asked me to sit with him. I thought it was just another QA. We'd done a dozen before. I even fixed my hair. But 5 minutes in, something shifted. He started talking about evolution, how sometimes people grow in different directions, how holding on to comfort can block your higher purpose. I sat there nodding, confused but trying to follow along. Then he looked at me, really looked at me and said, "You've been comfortable for a long time, but I'm ready to level up." And I froze, because it hit me all at once. He was breaking up with me, right here, right now, in front of thousands of people. The comments were flooding in. Is this real? OMG, not the soft launch breakup. Wait, is she crying? Spoiler alert. I wasn't crying. Not yet. I was in shock, just blinking like an idiot while he monologued about needing to realign with his truth. He ended the stream with, "Thank you for being part of our journey. I wish you light and growth." Then he kissed my forehead and walked out of the frame. I just sat there, still holding a plate of tacos. I didn't say a word that night. I couldn't. But the next morning, I checked his phone, and that's when I saw her name. I don't know what possessed me to check his phone that morning. Maybe it was instinct, maybe it was rage. But the second he left for his morning run, aka a 2-hour gym session he never actually sweats through, I walked straight into the bedroom and opened the drawer where he always left it charging. Password? Still my birthday. Cute, right? I wasn't expecting to find anything. I really wasn't. I just wanted a clue, a thread to pull that would make any of the last 24 hours make sense. Instead, I opened his messages and found a thread labeled babe at the very top. The most recent text, "Good morning, beautiful. I dreamed about you again. Can't wait until it's just us." Timestamp, 6:03 a.m. He had literally rolled out of bed next to me, kissed me on the forehead, and then sent that to someone else. I felt my throat close up, my whole body buzzing like it knew something my heart hadn't caught up to yet. I kept scrolling. There were voice notes, flirty selfies, plans, inside jokes, nicknames, mentions of me too. She's not on my level. She'll be fine. She's comfortable where she is. I've outgrown that chapter. I wanted to scream, to throw the phone across the room. Instead, I sat down at the edge of the bed, our bed, and tried not to throw up. Her name was Sienna, blonde, yoga influencer, one of those minimalist chic types who posts candlelit affirmations and captions like "softness is a strength." I recognized her immediately. She'd commented on his videos before. Always vague enough to fly under the radar. "So proud of your growth. This energy." Now it made sense. They'd been talking for weeks, planning a collab, a retreat, a life together. And I was over here editing his videos and restocking the fridge with oat milk like a damn fool. I screenshot everything, not because I planned to use it, but because I needed proof for myself. Because gaslighting is a real thing. When the person who hurt you has a platform and knows how to twist a narrative, I sent the screenshots to my email. Then I closed the app, plugged the phone back in, and stood in our tiny bathroom staring at my reflection. Mascara smudged, hair in a messy bun, one of his oversized hoodies still clinging to the faint scent of cologne. I looked like someone who didn't know she'd already been replaced. But the thing is, I wasn't crying. Not yet. I wasn't even angry. I was something colder, numb, calculating. I walked out of that apartment an hour later with only my purse, my laptop, and my keys. He didn't even notice I was gone. Until later that night, when I texted him 2 words, check your inbox. The email subject line? Since you're so into live streams, let's try the truth. I attached one of the screenshots. Just one. Then I turned off my phone, walked into my best friend Tasha's apartment, and collapsed onto her couch without a word. I brought cookie dough and tequila, she said. We can cry, or we can plot. Your call. I looked at her. Plot. So, I thought I was dramatic. But apparently, when you expose a wannabe life coach to his own followers, the man goes into full crisis PR mode, like he's freaking Kris Jenner managing a scandal. By Friday morning, I had 14 unread texts, 6 missed calls, and a paragraph-long voice note from Kaylin titled From the Heart. He was spiraling. Fast. But what really sent me? The Instagram post. A carousel, of course. Slide 1. Him staring thoughtfully into the distance, shirtless but with a crystal necklace perfectly visible. Slide 2. A blurry, artsy shot of his journal open to a page that said growth isn't always pretty. Slide 3. A black screen with the words, sometimes in order to elevate, you have to release what's holding you back. Please respect my privacy during this time of transition. Sending love. Kel the coach. I actually choked on my coffee. Because what he was really doing, framing me as the dead weight, the hurdle he had to leap over on his path to enlightenment. Oh, and no mention of the other woman. Not even a hint. But TikTok was not having it. Because remember those screenshots? Yeah, turns out I wasn't the only one who had them. Tasha, my absolute ride or die, the kind of best friend who doesn't wait for the fire to start before throwing gasoline on the pile, posted a video. A little storytime moment with a green screen of Keelan's post in the background. And she did not hold back. This is my best friend's ex, she said calmly, hair in a messy bun, hoodie up. He dumped her on livestream, said she was holding him back. Meanwhile, he was texting another girl good morning, while literally laying in bed next to her. Cut to screenshot. Can't wait until it's just us. Boom. The comments exploded. Not Kel the clown. You mean Kel the gaslighter. He really said respect my privacy after publicly humiliating her? The video hit 100K views in less than 24 hours. And then came the duets. People pulling up his old relationship tip videos and reacting in total disbelief. One girl stitched his "if she's not leveling you up, she's dragging you down" clip and deadpan, sir. She was your unpaid editor. I couldn't stop watching. It was like watching his little empire, his curated conscious masculine brand, crack apart in real time. And the best part? He had no idea who was leaking what. He posted a TikTok trying to clarify the situation, calling it a mutual conscious uncoupling, and claiming that no one was cheated on. Tasha's reply video? Screenshot. Timestamp. Proof. He deleted the original post within hours. By Sunday, brands had started quietly untagging him in collabs. I checked his follower count. He'd lost over 15K in 2 days. And his comments? Flooded with clown emojis and "where's your queen now?" Meanwhile, I was on Tasha's couch eating cheese fries and finally laughing for the first time in days. It wasn't even about revenge. It was just relief. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't the boring girlfriend who didn't match his vibe. I was the one who built him. And now, I was the one walking away. But then, just as I was starting to move on, something unexpected happened. I got a DM from Sienna. Yeah, her. Next, the other woman reaches out. And what she tells me changes everything. I was halfway through a bowl of popcorn and halfway into a rewatch of Bridgerton. Because comfort TV is healing, don't me, when my phone buzzed with a DM notification. From Sienna.Bliss. Username sounded exactly how I expected it to. Profile pic, soft lighting, beach waves, and a quote in her bio, "Divine femininity is not for the faint of heart." My first reaction? Block. Immediately. But curiosity has always been my fatal flaw. So I opened the message. Hi. This is probably not my place, but I think we need to talk. I didn't know about you. Please believe that. Can I call you? I stared at it for a full minute, rereading it like it might change. My hands were actually shaking. Because if she was reaching out, that meant she wasn't just a fling. She thought she was the only one. I called Tasha into the room like, Sienna just messaged me. Tasha, without missing a beat. Put her on speaker. I'm getting wine. I replied, gave her my number, and within 2 minutes my phone lit up. I answered. Hi. It's Sienna. Thank you for picking up. I wasn't sure if you would. Her voice was softer than I expected, like someone trying not to fall apart. She jumped right in. I didn't know you were still together. I swear. Kellen told me you two had broken up months ago, but were still living together for financial reasons. I almost laughed. Of course he did. She kept going. We've been talking since January, but it got serious after that retreat in February. He told me he was done with his past, that he was stepping into a new version of himself. I believed him. February. We were literally on vacation together in Palm Springs that month. We took a couple spa day. He bought me a bracelet that said trust. The audacity. Then she dropped the real bomb. I found out about you through the TikTok drama. I was so confused at first, but when I saw the screenshots in the timeline, I realized he had been playing both of us. She paused, then added, and I wasn't the only one. I sat up straight. Wait, what? Sienna sighed. I talked to someone else. Her name's Kelsey. She met him at a brand mixer back in November. They dated for a few weeks. Same story, he said he was newly out of a relationship. But based on what I know now, you were very much still together. My stomach dropped. Not because I was surprised anymore, but because I'd spent so long blaming myself, thinking I wasn't aligned enough, or inspiring enough to keep his attention. But it wasn't me. It was him. All along. Playing self-help prophet while living a double or triple life. Sienna and I talked for over an hour, compared stories, laughed, cried a little, realized we'd both been fed the same lines. The final twist? He told her I was the toxic one, that I manipulated his brand and stifled his creativity. Meanwhile, I was literally editing his videos at 2 a.m. so he could get his inspo posts out by sunrise. At the end of the call, she said, I'm so sorry. I genuinely thought he was a good guy. I told her, so did I. But that call, it was the moment everything clicked. I wasn't heartbroken anymore. I was done. Done playing quiet. Done protecting him. Done feeling ashamed of being used. It wasn't just a breakup anymore. It was a reckoning. And what I did next? Let's just say it involved a ring light, my own TikTok account, and a very different kind of story time. I never thought I'd be the kind of girl who goes live on TikTok to tell her breakup story. But when your ex streams your relationship's end like it's content, you eventually realize the only way to reclaim your narrative is to own it. So I did. I lit a candle for the drama, put on the hoodie he once said made me look too soft, and hit go live. And yeah, my hands were shaking. I started slow, just me sitting cross-legged on Tasha's couch. No filter, no edits. Hi, I'm the girl Keelan dumped on livestream, the one who was holding him back. You probably saw the clips. I'd like to tell you what really happened. The chat started filling up fast. OMG. She's here. Wait, I thought this was fake. Get your popcorn. I took a breath. Then I told them everything. From the moment I met Kellen, to the slow erasure of myself in service of his glow up. How I edited his videos, paid half the rent, made the spreadsheets for his retreats, and how when I finally stopped bending myself into a supportive side character, he blindsided me with a live stream breakup while already texting another girl. Good morning, babe. The comments were flying. New. The audacity. This is why I have trust issues. Kel the coach is canceled. And then I dropped the screenshots. Just a few. Just enough. The messages to Sienna. The timestamps. The lies. The voice memo he sent me the morning after, where he said, let's keep this mature. No need for drama. I played that one out loud. The chat exploded. No need for drama? Sir, you live streamed it. He wants silence now that he looks bad. This is the ultimate main character comeback. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just laid it out. Calm, clear, cold as hell. I'm not here to ruin him. I'm here because I refuse to let someone else turn my pain into their brand. I ended the live after 21 minutes and 43 seconds. When I tell you I threw my phone across the couch and immediately curled into a ball of emotional exhaustion? Yeah, that. But then Tasha's phone started buzzing. Girl, you're on FYP. The video was already getting clipped, shared, stitched, duetted. People were rallying. There were side-by-side breakdowns of his version versus mine. Therapists making videos about narcissistic branding in relationships. Even Sienna posted a short clip backing me up saying, I believed him too. She's telling the truth. I stand with her. By midnight, Kel the Clown was trending. He posted a vague IG story. Some people want attention more than peace, with a muted sunset gif. Everyone thinks the worst part was the live stream, or the cheating, or the TikTok drama. And yeah, those things wrecked me. But what I haven't told anyone, not Tasha, not Sienna, not even Kellen, is that 2 weeks before he broke up with me on camera, I found out I was pregnant. Yeah, let that sink in. I was standing in our bathroom at 6:47 a.m., holding a drugstore test in both hands, staring at those two faint pink lines like they were mocking me. I remember whispering, no way, over and over while Kellen snored in the next room, completely oblivious, and I didn't tell him. Not because I didn't want to. I actually had it all planned out. I was going to wait until his birthday. I even bookmarked this cute surprise dad onesie on Etsy, I imagined his eyes lighting up, the way he'd lift me off the ground like in the rom-coms he pretended not to like. But then things shifted. He got more distant, more busy. He started disappearing for hours, claiming he was filming reels or working on his ebook. He called me clingy when I wanted to talk and said I was projecting lack when I brought up feeling disconnected. So I waited, and then he went live. And I realized the man I had almost given my whole life to, body, soul, and now future, had already left me. He just waited until there was an audience. I didn't even cry about the pregnancy at first. I was too numb. But the night after I went live and told my side, once the adrenaline wore off and the notifications slowed down, I sat in Tasha's bathroom and just sobbed. For everything I lost, for everything I'd been about to gain, and for how painfully alone I felt in that moment. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do yet. I'm 6 weeks in. Tasha knows now she found the appointment card in my bag. She didn't freak out. She just hugged me so tight I could barely breathe and said, "Whatever you choose, I'm with you. We'll figure it out." I haven't told Kaylin. Not yet. And maybe I won't. Because here's the thing. This baby, if I decide to keep it, deserves better than a man who uses love as a stepping stone. Better than someone who builds his life off of manipulation, smoke, and ring lights. And me? I'm starting to feel something I haven't in a long time. Power. Real, quiet, dangerous power. If I had written the script, I would have told him face to face. Maybe in some quiet cafe where I could watch his face shift from smug to stunned. Or maybe not at all. Maybe I'd just live my life and let him fade into irrelevance. Like some old hoodie you forget you ever loved. But that's not how it happened. Because he found out from a comment. Yep. From a stranger on my video. It was a quiet Tuesday night. I had just posted a soft update on TikTok, not a viral clapback, not a dramatic monologue, just a vulnerable little moment. I was talking about healing, about finally sleeping through the night, about how sometimes moving on feels more like learning to breathe again than anything else. The caption just said, "Day 12 of choosing peace." Comments started rolling in, and one of them, totally innocent, "Proud of you, mama. Sending love to you and the little one." My stomach dropped. It was probably someone who had seen the appointment card in the background of an earlier video. I'd accidentally left it on the counter while filming a what I eat in a day. I didn't think anyone would notice, but they did. And apparently, so did Killin. Because the next morning, I woke up to 4 missed calls, 3 voice notes, and 1 essay-length text, all from him. Here's what the first voice note said, word for word. "Is it true? Are you pregnant? Why didn't you tell me? Why did I have to find out like this? Like this? You mean the way I found out you were cheating on me on TikTok Live, Keelan?" I didn't respond. Not right away. I needed space to think. Because now he wanted answers. Now he was confused. And suddenly he was ready to talk and open to working through this and willing to take responsibility. He even offered to meet in person. Said we should sit down like adults. But the thing is, adults don't blindside their partners on live streams. I called Tasha. I read her the texts. She nearly snapped her chopsticks in half over sushi. "Tell him nothing," she said. "He doesn't get to reinsert himself in your life just because now he sees it has value." And she was right. The fact that his first instinct was panic, not care, not concern, but damage control told me everything I needed to know. He wasn't mourning me. He was mourning his image, the brand he built with me as the soft, supportive backdrop. But now, I'm the story, and I'm not afraid to tell it. What happens next is entirely up to me. But before I make any decisions, there's one more piece of the puzzle I need to uncover. Because Tasha just found out something wild, something about Sienna, and the real reason she messaged me that night. I thought I had the full picture. The breakup, the betrayal, the double life, the viral mess he created, and the quiet strength I was slowly reclaiming. But then Tasha burst into our apartment like she was on an episode of Scandal Coat half off, laptop under one arm, latte in the other, eyes wide like she'd just uncovered government secrets. "You are not going to believe this," she said, breathless. "Sienna's not who she says she is." And my stomach immediately flipped. Because deep down, I'd felt it. Something off in that phone call, in her perfectly worded apology. I'd chalked it up to guilt or awkwardness. But no, it was more than that. Tasha opened her laptop and pulled up an old podcast episode, some niche, business-focused thing Kellen had been a guest on a year ago. The guest after him? Sienna. At the time, she'd introduced herself not as a yoga influencer, not as a spiritual wellness coach like her Instagram claimed, but as a social branding strategist. And her specialty? Helping creators manufacture authenticity, helping them rebrand. I just blinked at the screen. "Wait, you're saying she's not just some girl he cheated with?" Tasha nodded, scrolling furiously through Sienna's old Twitter posts, now mostly scrubbed. But cached versions? Still there. Sometimes, the best way to flip your narrative is to light the old one on fire. Public heartbreak brand rebirth. Use it. And then the one that punched me straight in the chest, coaching a client through a rebrand right now post-breakup. She doesn't know yet, but it's gonna launch him into his next level. The date on that tweet? 2 days before Kellen dumped me live. My vision went red. She knew. She wasn't some innocent woman caught in his web. She was the damn web designer. I texted Sienna. Just one line. "You played me." She replied within minutes. "Please, it's not what you think. Can we talk?" So I called her. And she picked up on the first ring. "Eliana, please listen. It started as strategy, yes. I did agree to help him rebrand. He told me he was stuck. He said his relationship was over, but you wouldn't move out, that he needed a clean break to evolve." I was silent. My fingers clenched into a fist on my thigh. I never expected him to go live. That wasn't part of the plan. And I didn't know you were pregnant. I swear. "You helped him script our breakup," I said flatly. She exhaled, shaky. "I thought I was helping him break free. That's how he sold it. But after I talked to you, I realized I wasn't helping him evolve. I was helping him erase someone." That line stuck with me. Helping him erase someone. Because that's exactly what it felt like. I wasn't a chapter in his story. I was the draft he deleted to make himself more marketable. But not anymore. Now the world knew the truth. And I knew something else. He didn't just lie. He strategized. This wasn't just betrayal. It was premeditated character assassination with a PowerPoint and a posting schedule. And the worst part? There were receipts. Sienna had kept them. Emails, DMs, the branding deck she helped him build. She sent them all to me. And what I found? He didn't just plan to leave me. He planned to monetize my heartbreak. I didn't even know how to look at the files at first. There were 12 PDFs, a Dropbox folder Sienna forwarded to me with a single message. "I'm sorry. I was complicit. Use this however you want." The folder name? Rebrand 2.0 Q1 Launch and Inside? A literal step-by-step strategy to phase me out of Kellen's life like I was an outdated app. Slide 1. The pivot. From partner to powerhouse. It broke down how Keelan should position himself post-breakup as a rising voice in conscious masculinity, distancing from dependent relationship dynamics, aka me. Slide 2. A table labeled narrative control. Old image, relationship-centric, soft, emotionally dependent. New image, self-possessed, spiritually untethered, evolving risk. X still has emotional influence over brand solution. Controlled separation rollout optional live format to signal transparency. I nearly gagged. He literally planned the live stream. Had bullet points, a backup caption. There was even a mock comment section predicting audience reactions. One section was labeled, potential setbacks. If X responds emotionally, use tone of compassion. Don't engage in drama. Frame any criticism as proof of outgrowing toxicity. Maintain high vibe energy. Do not apologize publicly, unless metrics demand it. Metrics demand it. I wasn't even a person to him. I was a risk factor, a public variable on his quest for male influencer greatness. And the final slide? A proposed collab rollout with Sienna, titled The Sacred Union, 2 Souls, 1 Mission. Scheduled launch, mid-April. I stared at that date. Mid-April. We were supposed to be celebrating our anniversary then. I felt the tears sting hot and humiliated. He used me, scripted me, branded me as baggage. And when I no longer fit the aesthetic, he recast the role. But he forgot one thing. I know the brand better than anyone. I built it. I wrote the captions. I scheduled the posts. I watched how people responded. And I knew exactly how to break it. So I uploaded a video. Just me. No makeup. Hoodie on. Looking straight into the camera. "Let's talk about authenticity," I said. Because behind every brand, there's a real person. And sometimes, that person gets erased in the name of growth. Then I showed screenshots, from the deck, from the emails, blurred where I needed to, but made it crystal clear what happened. Then I said, he didn't just hurt me, he positioned me. He called it conscious detachment. I call it premeditated manipulation. And I ended it with this: I'm done being part of someone else's brand. From now on, I'm building my own. I hit post and logged off. Tasha poured me a glass of wine like I'd just finished a marathon. "I'm scared," I admitted. Not of him, just of being seen. Really seen. She looked at me, eyes soft but fierce. "You weren't erased. You were underestimated." By morning, the video had over 2 million views. People were stunned, angry, empowered. Other creators started posting their own stories about being partnered for content. Therapists were calling it emotional commodification. And Kalen? He went silent, deleted his last 12 posts, removed coach from his handle, went private. But the damage was done. His rebrand became a case study for everything wrong with fake vulnerability online. And me? I finally felt free.